The biggest news of the year is the Indo-Canada all-out war. But before we get to that war, we have to first appreciate, celebrate, and congratulate the best war reporting of the year.
Which Bollywood number would you like to sing for your people here and also for the people in India?
You have the traditional song, Chori Chori.
Yes.
So it goes like that. Chori Chori Angori se, ya karenge. चुके चुके बुद्धि बके या करेंगे।
जी हाँ, ये हैं जाबाज रिपोर्टर प्रदीप दत्ता टाइम्स नाउ के, जो अपनी जान हथेली में लेके रिपोर्टिंग कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम इजराइल। बिलीव इट और नॉट, टाइम्स नाउ इज एडवर्टाइजिंग दिस एज वॉर जोन रिपोर्टिंग. You see, Times Now does not believe in reporting on the horrors of the war. They believe in creating their own horror shows.
Any other song?
Jai Ho, you are the reason that I breathe.
Jai Ho,
you are the reason that I breathe. Jai Ho, oh, 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 oh.
So that is what actually is all about. देखिए किस तरीके से यहाँ पे ये प्यार बिखेरते हैं, किस तरीके से बॉलीवुड को यहाँ लाइक करते हैं. मुश्किल हालात जरूर है, लेकिन मालूम है कि किस तरह से जीना है.
देखिए किस तरीके से यहाँ पे ये प्यार बिखेरते हैं.
Shame on you, Sreenivasan Jain. हमने और हमारे सब्सक्राइबर्स ने मिलके तुमको इजराइल भेजा, and you couldn't get one Israeli dance in any of your ground reports from there. Instead, you got us this actual news.
So this may look like we're in the Gaza Strip, but we're actually in Jenin. This is not Gaza. This is the Jenin refugee camp inside the West Bank, several hours north of Jerusalem. Isn't there a threat, like a risk?
I'm not afraid.
I hope you guys have been catching the Gaza war 1 year later with Sreenivasan Jain on our YouTube channel. All 3 episodes from Israel are now out, so do catch them, unless until you prefer this.
Jai Ho.
You are the reason that I breathe.
Now back to Indo-Canada war.
क्या कनाडा दूसरा पाकिस्तान बनना चाहता है?
इस पे पूछने वाली क्या बात है सईद सुहेल? अपने बॉस का शो नहीं देखते?
They are the next Pakistan.
It is. Canada is the new Pakistan. By the way, don't you just love Sayyid Suhail's graphic? गोली चल रही है, ठाए 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 ठाए, निज्जर छल नहीं हो रहा है, ट्रूडो लुकिंग लाइक अ सैड पान पराग बराती, और गाड़ी का नंबर है भारत से क्यों पंगा ले रहे ट्रूडो. Since Trudeau doesn't get Hindi, and in case he's keen on understanding what the Indian media is saying about him, let me translate. The car number plate is saying, why are you trying to screw around with us, Trudeau? Yes, why you want to be Pakistan?
Canada under Prime Minister Trudeau is strikingly behaving like a Western version of Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान भी पिछड़ जाएगा जिस तरह की चीजें इस वक्त कनाडा में हो रही हैं.
पाकिस्तान पिछड़ जाएगा, लेकिन इंडिया हमेशा आगे रहेगा. Number 1. Yes, you Canada, with your maple syrup and your grizzly bears. Since you have decided to be the next Pakistan, you better be careful now, because you do know what our biggest weapon against Pakistan is. Not that. I mean our ultimate weapon of mass destruction.
ये तो लेके आए, मेरा तो तैयार खड़ा. ये देख, ये तैयार खड़ा है. तेरे ठोकेंगे आके वहाँ एक एक को.
You think, Canada, you can get Khalistani supporters on your news channels?
I think their accusation that Mr. Niger was a Khalistani leader, it's not even an accusation, it's the truth. He was a Khalistani leader. I myself act as a Khalistani leader.
You platform a guy conspiring to break India. Well, take this, Canada. We will give you a conspiracy that even we will not be able to make sense of.
Trudeau is a doormat for the Americans. He is an American puppet. His real masters are in the CIA.
Take that. You're not even a real country.
I do not even consider them to be a sovereign nation in real terms.
So, according to our weapon of mass destruction of brain cells, Trudeau is a puppet of CIA that recently organized a coup in Bangladesh. And the CIA, yes, the CIA, is so jealous of Modi's victory in Haryana because Modi is getting close to Russia that they got their puppet Trudeau to implicate Modi government in this fake assassination plot. Kahan milegi itni punchlines? I don't know what to crack a joke on. I guess it has to be CIA being worried about Modi's victory in Haryana that I found the funniest in all of this.
The American deep state is not happy that after the last state elections, Narendra Modi is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger despite all their conspiracies against him, and consolidating and strengthening his political base. The Americans have a problem with Narendra Modi.
Sorry, Arnab, but I have to side with the Americans on this one.
I think it's insulting, but it's not insulting to Americans or Canadians. Your wild allegations are insulting to Indian citizens. It's as if you're in a time warp and you think India is this impoverished country back in the Cold War, and that Indian citizens are too unsophisticated to understand nonsense when they hear it.
Exactly. This Arnab conspiracy is a joke on Indians. In fact, Indian television news has become the biggest joke on Indians. वही पुरानी घिसी पिटी Cold War era conspiracy at a time when Indo-US relations are at its peak. Now look, I'm not saying for 1 minute that Canada is doing all of this without the tacit approval of the US, but I think it's a little more complicated than jealousy against the world's most popular leader.
Where they misread is the intent, popularity and style of Narendra Modi.
Look, there's quite a bit to unpack on this whole India versus Canada issue, and none of it involves CIA or Bangladesh or Haryana elections. And we will get to that in just a bit, but before that, there's a totally bizarre subplot in this diplomatic feud. The new B gang or L gang. L gang sounds a little odd. I think we'll stick to B gang. That's replacing the D gang of Mumbai. Believe it or not, in all this India versus Canada, Lawrence Bishnoi's name has cropped up. Canada has alleged that India carried out the killings of Khalistani operatives in Canada with the help of Lawrence Bishnoi gang, who the Canada police believes is involved with the Indian agents. The allegation seems to be that Indian diplomats and security agencies were passing on information about Khalistani operatives in Canada to the B gang to get them bumped off. Now, Lawrence Bishnoi has been locked away in Gujarat's Sabarmati jail since 2015. His associate, Goldie Brar, meanwhile, operates from Canada. Lawrence Bishnoi, like all good Punjabis, is named after a British person, Henry Montgomery Lawrence, who founded the prestigious Lawrence School in the hill town of Sanar. Yes, that's where he gets his name Lawrence from. Lawrence, meanwhile, also studied law in the University of Punjab University. He got involved in student politics, he lost an election, got angry, and swiftly got involved in organized crime. Now, like many gangsters in Punjab, Lawrence's aim is not just crime, but also fame. In a culture that glorifies guns and with pop culture references that speak of yo mafia style, Lawrence craves naam or shohrat, fame. Punjab's gangsters don't enter the underworld for wealth alone. They crave notoriety, a deep-seated desire to be a somebody. Fame also means higher extortion rates. मतलब जितना B gang का कहर रहेगा, उतना पैसा फिरौती में B gang मांग सकता है. So there's an economic angle to it also. Lawrence has appeared in courts wearing a Bhagat Singh t-shirt. He apparently has a Hanuman tattoo. He's issued open threats अपनी daring दिखाने के लिए, and he apparently heads a gang with about 700 members now. His most recent victim was Baba Siddiqui. He's implicated in the killing of Sidhu Moosewala. His hit list includes Salman Khan for hunting black bucks and even Munawar Faruqi for cracking jokes that insulted Hindu gods. Lawrence की hit list में और भी gangsters हैं जैसे कि Gangster Chaudhary, he's currently in Gurugram jail. Shaganpreet Singh, who's supposed to be the former manager of Sidhu Moosewala. तो भाई, एक तरफ यूपी में योगी जी माफिया राज खत्म कर रहे हैं और दूसरी तरफ वहीं गुजरात में ये माफिया इंटरनेशनल लेवल के गैंग्स चला रहे हैं और फेमस हो रहे हैं.
वाह, क्या सीन है.
On the one hand, Canada has said that Lawrence Bishnoi's crime syndicate is linked with the Indian diplomatic mission to target Khalistanis in Canada. And on the other hand, NIA, our very own National Investigative Agency, last year filed a charge sheet against Lawrence Bishnoi and Goldie Brar for, wait for it, for having links with banned pro-Khalistani outfit Babbar Khalsa International. तो ये किसकी साइड मिला है यही नहीं पता हमें.
ये सब क्या हो रहा है?
Yes, all this is more twisted than an Arnab primetime show. In all of this, along with international fame, Lawrence Bishnoi is also getting accolades from the Indian right wing. इंटरनेशनल फेम के साथ साथ हिंदुस्तानी राइट विंग का प्यार और सत्कार भी मिल रहा है एलबी को. Why? Because apparently he signs off with the Jai Shri Ram chant and because he has a Hanuman tattoo. Right wing ecosystem के सारे लुक्खों को नया हीरो मिल गया है. Remember this guy?
A hero who is revered as Bhagat Singh of our times. A man to whom Khalistan is shit scared. Is this what you have to say about him, Wikipedia? Do you understand why I said Wikipedia is fake and anti-Hindu? He is not a gangster. He is a warrior born to eliminate the clan of MFs who want to destroy Sanatani Dharma, and he has got a hit list. Paste in comments.
भगत सिंह की रूह कांप गई होगी ये सब सुन के. And remember this guy?
अगर खालिस्तानी किसी से डरते हैं तो लॉरेंस बिश्नोई से डरते हैं. इनकी टांगें कांपती हैं लॉरेंस बिश्नोई से. और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि खालिस्तानियों को लॉरेंस बिश्नोई नाम के टैबलेट की आवश्यकता है, बहुत जरूरी और बहुत जल्दी से जल्दी. इनको चाहिए लॉरेंस बिश्नोई नाम की टैबलेट.
Yes, this guy is supposed to be a former army officer and an expert on TV news channels.
इनको पता है कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई के जो शूटर हैं ये हर जगह हैं, सिर्फ भारत में नहीं है. इसके शूटर कनाडा में हैं, जहां जहां खालिस्तानी है वहां इसके शूटर हैं, बड़े लॉयल हैं.
क्या बात है, नए भारत की नई अचीवमेंट्स. गैंग है इसके पास, शूटर्स फैले हैं हर जगह. वाओ, व्हाट एन अचीवमेंट.
लॉरेंस बिश्नोई आज भी जेल में बैठ के, अगर लॉरेंस बिश्नोई सिर्फ कागज में लिख के दे दे ना, I love you too.
Are you sure that's how LB is giving orders to execute people? I hope Lawrence is not watching you, Gauravarya, because otherwise you will surely be on his hit list. Also, the biggest thing that all these guys are not telling you is that Lawrence Bishnoi himself is accused of having Khalistani links. This is what the NIA charge sheet says against him.
The agency also characterized his syndicate as one that formed an alliance with the pro-Khalistan cause to satisfy its quest for sophisticated weapons and to further invest the proceeds of terrorism generated through their existing extortion rackets.
जिस बंदे के तार खुद खालिस्तानियों से मिले हैं, उनको ये लोग एक हीरो बना रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं कि वाह वाह देखो खालिस्तानियों के लिए जवाब आ गया. आर्या और स्ट्रिंग रिवील्स जैसे बहुत राइट विंगर्स हैं who are somehow seeing a masiha in this guy.
भारत अब बदल चुका है, ये नया भारत.
और तो और कलयुग का जमाना है, और कलयुग में ट्रोल्स आर नॉट जस्ट ऑन ट्विटर, दे ऑल्सो गेट प्राइम टाइम स्लॉट्स ऑन टीवी न्यूज.
इसीलिए सोशल मीडिया पर कई लोग कह रहे हैं कि भाई लॉरेंस बिश्नोई अगर खालिस्तानियों को मार रहा है तो वो तो भारत के लिए काम कर रहा है, मतलब भारत सरकार के लिए नहीं, भारत के हित के लिए काम कर रहा है.
यार सुशांत, ये एक गैंगस्टर है जो जेल में है, इस पर ऐसे प्राउड होने की बात नहीं है कि देखो हमारे देश के लिए काम कर रहा है. And why are you admitting something that the Indian government itself is not admitting to? With friends like Sushant, we really don't need enemies.
हटाओ इसको, बेकार आदमी.
Now believe it or not, इस सब में भी हिंदू मुस्लिम का एंगल है.
ये कहा जा रहा है कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई दाऊद इब्राहिम को रिप्लेस कर दे, लेकिन दाऊद इब्राहिम और लॉरेंस बिश्नोई में बहुत बुनियादी अंतर है. दाऊद इब्राहिम खालिस्तानी आतंकवादियों को सपोर्ट करता है, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई खालिस्तानी आतंकवादियों को निपटाता है. दाऊद इब्राहिम विदेश में भारत के दुश्मनों के साथ मिला हुआ है, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई विदेश में भारत के दुश्मनों का सफाया कर रहा है.
कितना आसान है कलयुग में क्राइम करके हीरो बन जाना. जस्ट किल अवे, set your target, put out your hit lists, get a Hanuman tattoo, say Jai Shri Ram, and that's enough to somehow make you better than Dawood.
इसका दिमाग घूमा हुआ है.
Now actually there is no comparison to Dawood, who's responsible for the 1993 Mumbai bombings along with some serious other crimes. But I don't think the answer to that is a deshbhakt gangster. The answer to Dawood should be no gangster at all. और देख तो लो यार तुम किसको चढ़ा रहे हो चने के झाड़ पे. NIA ने खुद बोला है कि इसकी लिंक्स खालिस्तानियों के साथ हैं. If you still think that maybe Sushant does not have a soft corner for the infamous gangster, then remember, जो बकवास टाइम्स ग्रुप वाले सुशांत को टीवी पे नहीं करने देते हैं, वो अपने यूट्यूब चैनल पे करता है.
कईयों को लगता है कि लॉरेंस बिश्नोई अगर खालिस्तानियों को खत्म कर रहा है तो वो तो देश सेवा कर रहा है. लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को कई लोग जो है वो देशभक्त बता रहे हैं. आपकी नजर में लॉरेंस बिश्नोई क्या है, एक गैंगस्टर या एक देशभक्त गैंगस्टर या सिर्फ एक देशभक्त? आप उसे कैसे दिखते हैं? लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को कई लोग सनातनी के तौर पर भी देखते हैं.
लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को कई लोग सनातनी भी कह रहे हैं. कौन है ये लोग यार? I would say that is an insult to all followers of Sanatani Dharma.
हटाओ इसको बेकार आदमी.
The whole India-Canada drama with Bishnoi smack in the middle of it is not as simple as Canada mein Khalistani are working to break India or Bishnoi and his gang have taken on the mantle to defeat the Khalistanis. It's just not that simple or that stupid.
बॉस थोड़ा अपना दिमाग लगाइए.
Canada के आरोप बहुत संगीन हैं and the relationship between the two countries are now at an all-time low. No matter what Sushant says about this, none of it is making us, India, look good in the world press. The New York Times, for example, said the Indian government had orchestrated homicides and extortion in Canada to intimidate Sikh separatists. A report in the Washington Post said Canada expels India's top diplomat and alleges wider diplomatic involvement in crimes. They've also named Amit Shah. So internationally, this has not been a great exhibition of Vishwaguru's diplomatic prowess. But if you watch the world of TV news in India, then you'd get to think कि भाई इंडिया ने कनाडा को क्या ठोक डाला.
भारत के विदेश मंत्रालय ने ठोक दिया कनाडा को.
Though the fact is that we slapped him back much harder than he expected, and we will continue to slap him diplomatically, of course.
Oh, thank God, Arnab, for clarifying that we're only slapping them diplomatically.
भारत ने ट्रूडो की गर्मी उतार दी.
गर्मी निकाल दी? What is that supposed to even mean, यार?
भारत को गाली दे रहे थे ट्रूडो. एकदम लगा 440 वोल्ट का करंट.
In all of this war on Canada, let's not forget that we have nearly 2 million Indian diaspora in Canada. Many are Canadian citizens or permanent residents. There are tens of thousands of Indian students. Canada remains the destination of choice for many Indians who believe they would be able to make a better life for themselves outside their own country. Trade between India and Canada is at $8.4 billion US, and so no, Canada is not the new Pakistan. We do way more exchange with each other, India and Canada, than with our unfriendly neighbor Pakistan. India has had its concerns for a very long time. Ki bhai, why is Canada sheltering Khalistanis and allowing them to undermine Indian sovereignty, get away with grotesque celebrations of the killing of an Indian Prime Minister? That is a legitimate concern of ours, but it loses legitimacy if we ourselves get implicated in undermining another country's sovereignty and laws. Also, it's important to understand that mature democracies respond to threats with a sense of proportionality. We may find men like Nijjar irritant antithesis to the idea of India, but do we have enough proof that they are plotting terror acts in India? And if yes, then did we give any proof of it to Canada? And if we did do that, then what was Canada's response? If men like Nijjar are merely ideologues of a dead cause like Khalistan, surely India as a confident democracy can tackle this at diplomatic level instead of going all nuclear.
We're going to hit the Canadians hard. We're going to teach them a lesson. We're going to put them in their place.
In all likelihood, Trudeau is all set to lose the next election in his country. And of course, he's trying to milk this whole thing to come across as a straight, tough-talking leader. But the current issue will not just magically resolve after Trudeau loses. Countries who have traded such severe accusations against each other won't suddenly become besties, even if politics in those countries change. So that's something to think of. And seriously, Godi Jivis, this is the guy you want to put your money on?
आप खुद सोचिए, कोई सेंस बनता है इस बात का?
Now in other news, Sudhir is back in action. कुछ दिनों से लोकसभा के इलेक्शंस के बाद सुधीर थोड़ा बैलेंस सा नजर आ रहा था. बड़ी अच्छी ग्राउंड रिपोर्टिंग कर रहा था. सभ्य सी बातें कर रहा था. आफ्टर हरियाणा इलेक्शन CIA का तो पता नहीं, अब सुधीर काफी उछल रहा है. He's back to his same old tricks. Bahraich was destroyed by communal violence last week. In this, one Hindu man was shot dead and countless homes of innocent Muslims and Hindus were burnt down. The whole thing apparently started with a fight over DJ music.
कुछ दूरी पे, चंद दूरी पर ही ये तनाव की शुरुआत हुई थी, जी है ना, जैसा आपका कहना है। जी क्या हुआ था?
डीजे के गाने को लेके कोई बवाद हुआ था, उसी पे हाथापाई हुई, पथराव हुआ, तेल लगा दो, बाबर का नाम मिटा दो, ऐसे कुछ गाना है, वही पे कुछ ऐसा हुआ है।
अच्छा, वो डीजे पे वो गाना बज रहा था?
जी, तभी ऐसा हुआ है। उसको बंद करने के लिए डीजे वाले को अभद्र गाली गलौज देने लगे।
अच्छा, उसको डीजे बंद करने के लिए कहा गया?
जी, मरने पे कमादा हुए, पथराव किए।
देखते ही देखते कहा सुनी फुल ब्लोन कम्युनल क्लैश में बदल गई। one man who was seen replacing a Muslim flag with a Bhagwa flag on top of a Muslim's house in a viral video was shot dead, and then scores of homes were burnt down. Listen to the family of Ram Gopal Mishra who was shot dead.
बोले मूर्ति देखने जा रहे हैं, बस इतना ही बोल के चले गए थे. बोले कि तुम खाना खा लेना, भंडारा में खा के आए हैं. इतना ही बोल के ऐसे गेट से निकल गए. बस उसके बाद नहीं पता है कि वहाँ पे क्या हुआ. सब लोग बोल रहे हैं कि 2 मंजिल पे ले जाके उन्हें मारे. ट्राली में बैठे थे, झंडा फहरा रहे थे, घसीट के लेके गए. इसके बाद उनको मारा गया.
Now listen to this one man whose house was burnt down by a rampaging mob just because he was Muslim.
आपका गांव अलग है, वो गांव नहीं है.
हाँ, उस गांव में हम लोग नहीं रहते साहब. न उनसे कोई मेरा संबंध है, न कोई लेना देना है. बस मुसलमान है, बस ये लेना देना. सलमान के नाम पे लोग मार रहे हैं. ऐसा करते हैं साहब. आप लोग के बीच में बोलने नहीं देते कोई. कुछ नहीं रह गया साहब. दुनिया जल गई हमारी. एक दिन का खाना तक नहीं छोड़े साहब, वो भी जला दिए. 300 रुपए का दिहाड़ी करने वाला आदमी खड़ा है तुम्हारे सामने. कोई मैं मास्टर, कोई मैं डॉक्टर नहीं हूँ जो मेरा घर बिगड़ गया. ये मेरे बच्चे, इनकी हालत देखिए आप. कभी है बच्चे सोचा है एक बाप के सामने एक बच्चे को फूका जाए तो कैसा लगेगा? धकड़ के लेके गए, हाथ से छीन के लाया मैं. वह मुझे मार देते.
Things seem to be slowly inching towards normalcy. लेकिन ये सब हमारे न्यूज एंकर्स को कैसे पचेगा? They are here to डालो more ghee on आग. This was Sudhir on Wednesday night.
हम उस नफरत का पोस्टमार्टम करेंगे जिसने हैवानियत की सारी हदों को पार कर दिया है. हत्यारों ने इस लड़के की हत्या से पहले इस लड़के को भयानक यातनाएं दी थी और उसे बहुत टॉर्चर किया था. आरोपियों ने उसके पैरों की सभी उंगलियों के नाखून खींचकर बाहर निकाल लिए थे.
Everything that Sudhir has said is basically a WhatsApp rumor. UP police has put out a note saying that these are rumors being spread about torture, and we should not believe any of this. The cause of death is a bullet injury. But here you have rumors spread on primetime news, because just a death is not enough. We also need to milk the death to spread more poison, hate and suspicion. हिंदू मुस्लिम दंगों में हिंदू खतरे में है बोल बोल के हर रात ये लोग और आग फैलाना चाहते हैं.
हम अक्सर बांग्लादेश के हिंदुओं की बात करते हैं कि वो वहाँ पर अल्पसंख्यक हैं और उन पर अत्याचार हो रहा है. लेकिन कड़वा सच तो ये है कि खुद हमारे देश भारत में भी एक हिंदू लड़के की इतनी बेरहमी से हत्या हो जाती है और इस पर हमारे देश में कोई रामगोपाल मिश्रा की मॉब लिंचिंग का मुद्दा नहीं उठा रहा.
I highly recommend you watch this ground report by Avdesh that is devoid of all sensationalism, sticks to facts, gets all sides of the story and reports very sensitively on how communal clashes always destroy the lives of the poor. Do watch this report on our YouTube channel. Thanks to you guys, thanks to your support, we at News Laundry can bring you authentic ground report like Avdesh has. We owe our allegiance to public interest and so we get you all sides of the story. We pieced together how the entire thing unfolded and looked at the victims of this communal clash. Do catch this and remember, with your support, we are able to do the stories that we do. So you guys must continue to support news in public interest. Subscribe to news that caters to public interest. Subscribe to news that is committed to facts, not any political party or any political agenda. Log on to newslaundry.com/subscription. Choose an amount you like to power more reporting. We want to send many more reporters like Avdesh to the ground to get you ground reports, more and more ground reports, and we can do that if you support us. There's a QR code flashing on your screens right now. अगर आप बहुत ही लेजी हैं, आप वेबसाइट पर नहीं जाना चाहते, तो बस इस QR कोड को स्कैन करें और न्यूज़ लॉन्ड्री को सपोर्ट करें. आपके सब्सक्रिप्शन के बदले में आपको मिलेंगी अमेजिंग बिहाइंड द पेवॉल स्टोरीज. वी हैव लॉट्स ऑफ बिहाइंड द पेवॉल स्टोरीज. For example, a very detailed report on the charge sheet in the Pune Porsche case. You can read that if you're a subscriber of News Laundry. And you can also watch NL Hafta, full NL Hafta, our weekly podcast, if you subscribe to News Laundry. Check out a snippet from this week's episode.
I think the two sub-dynamics that emerged as far as the diaspora, Manisha, are first and foremost is with respect to just the sheer lack of information. The number of times I have engaged with somebody, a few years back, I met a partner at a leading law firm in London who asked me very candidly and thought that they're going to get a serious answer from me saying, Mr. Panag, what do you think about the upcoming referendum? And I was like, what referendum are we talking about? None of us know about any referendum. And, it's irrelevant to us. You guys, go and make a Khalistan in Southall or in Brampton or wherever else in Canada or the UK, because there is no resonance for it back home.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode. We will be back next week. Until then, stay mad. That's the only way. I hope things become a little less mad.